Welcome to Tribulation 5/15/2011. Today is Tuesday, April 24th, 2012. We are on day 346 and rapidly closing in on the 1-year anniversary of the start of my personal witness and testimony to the tribulation that is unfolding right before our very eyes. And it also happens to be the day that Venus goes into retrograde. What does it all mean? We're going to find out. You know, for days and days and days, I've been telling you that the world continues to spiral downwards into chaos. And it is. And why is that? You know, why is the weather crazy? Seasons turned on their heads. Earthquakes everywhere. Volcanoes going off. You know, they just said the one in Mexico, Popocatépetl or whatever the heck it's called, is going off, which is not a good sign. You know, we got animals dying all around the world. We got famine, drought. We got people being massacred by sinister forces. We got crazy nutcases in countries like North Korea firing missiles. We got Iran, you know, playing their normal games. We got rumors of war. You know, the financial stability of the world is, you know, still on the brink of complete collapse. But, you know, today I'm not really here to, you know, try and scare anybody or talk about the gloom and the doom, because, you know, if you've been watching any of these videos out there, man, everybody's doing that. You know, saying that they're seeing horrific visions of tidal waves and, you know, meteors coming from the sky. But you notice, you know, I'm pretty laid back about it all. You know, I know yesterday I kind of, you know, put the beat down on all my viewers. Because, you know, the truth is, the deception is just, you know, out of control. You know, most people walking around in complete denial of not only what's going on, what's right in front of their eyes, but, you know, they're in denial about just the whole world in itself. You know, that the framework, the picture that they've made, you know, the white picket fence, the house, the 401k, Social Security, putting the kids through college, that none of that matters anymore. You know? And, you know, what's happening is that we're on the brink of a paradigm shift. You know, the old world, the pyramids are built like this. If I get that right. The new world, it's going to flip it on its head. It's going to be like that. Upside down pyramid. Can't even really do it with my fingers. But anyway, you get the idea. And you know, in this new world, logic is flipped on its head. And you know what? There's a reason for that. Because the logic that has been driving the old world, you know, which is the logic most of us use. And you know what? I'm no different than you. You know, most of my life, I've used the pyramid like this logic, you know, where there's one dude at the top and a bunch of us at the bottom that are getting screwed. And, you know, that power base, you know, pretty much exists in everything, you know, and it doesn't work because it allows for corruption and for sinister forces to try and, you know, manipulate and take advantage of everybody down at the bottom. It's not fair. It's not equitable. In the new paradigm shift, you know, you start running into all sorts of new crazy logic. You know, like the last shall be first, and the first shall be last. You know, that maybe the guy at the top isn't so lucky. You know, in the new paradigm shift, there's not going to be any negativity, none at all. And yet, you know, is there negativity in our world right now? Yeah, it's everywhere. Negative thought cycles, man. You know, negative thought cycles of greed, of jealousy, of bitterness, of anger. And these are all thought cycles that are being manifested within people's minds because there's this darkness that's just encircling the planet. As, you know, within our own beings, because we are children of light. You know, we are designed, just like a plant absorbs the sun, so do we. You know, our pineal gland is that light receptor where we just light up. But of course, that's being snuffed out, you know. Nobody's going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you that. Because, you know, the one thing you're going to find here at Tribulation 5/15/2011 is the truth. And you know what? You'll also find it over at Operation End Times, you know. So be my guest and join us over there as well. There's revelations happening over there. But that being said, you know, this is Tribulation 5/15/2011. But, you know, I cannot help. You know, we're in the most amazing time period you could possibly be living in. And yet, with all this apocalyptic doom and gloom, you know, most people would be like, well, I don't want to be alive, you know, during all this scary stuff. And that's why, you know, there's just this huge delusion, you know, wool being pulled over their eyes, because whether it's just not believing what you're seeing and, you know, turning on your TV set, which is a complete distortion of reality, you know, watching your favorite TV show, thinking, because when you watch TV, you know, the weather's always nice, people's lives are always hunky-dory. Whereas if you actually look at your own life, you know, people are out of work, people are starving, you know, people are freaking out because of all this negative thought cycles that are being, you know, propagated by the sinister forces, you know, whether you want to call it mass media, or the Illuminati, or the, you know, principalities in higher places, you know. Believe me, it's real. Thought manifestation, you know, negative thought manifestation produces a negative manifestation in the physical world. And likewise, positive thought manifestation produces positive thoughts, or positive physical manifestations. But you know what? It's not as simple as that. Life is never as simple as that. So, you know, the new paradigm shift, you know, these two paradigms are now kind of starting to overlap each other. So it's getting very, you know, confusing because it's the old paradigm versus the new paradigm. But in the new paradigm shift, you know, and you know, once again, the negativity is going to be snuffed out. That's you know, the bad news. But if you're a child of light, there is nothing to fear. Nothing at all. You know, if you have a relationship, because if you're a child of the light, that means you believe in God and you have a relationship with God. You know, we don't choose God. God chooses us. The only thing we have the option to do is to reject Him. And unfortunately, many of us are out there walking around, atheists, saying there is no God. And then another strong delusion is people walking around, you know, saying, oh, we are gods, or we're going to become gods. Or, you know, gods are space aliens that are going to come down in some kind of UFO and save the world. Or you know, the point I'm getting to is in the old paradigm, you know, the old world thinking, because there is deception there, this may sound crazy, but you know, because even though the new paradigm sounds crazy because everything's been flipped on its head, you know what? The old world is getting crazier and crazier because it's soon to pass away. But in the old paradigm, the old world, check out this logic. You know, a positive thought cycle can actually manifest negativity, and a negative thought cycle could actually manifest positivity. Because, you know, one thing is God controls everything. So, you know, even if you're experiencing a speed bump in your life, you know, and I'm telling you, that's what's happening to the children of light right now, you know, and I've been trying to wake them up, you know, those that have eyes to see and ears to hear. But, you know, God is an active force. You know, anybody that thinks otherwise is a fool. But, you know, He's calling us out of Babylon, and He's, you know, sending us into the wilderness. Many of us are already there. You know, if you've lost your job, you have no health care, your family and friends have left you, if that, you know, picture that you tried to paint that you thought was your life, like, it just is getting harder and harder. And you know, the harder you try and make that your goal in life, you're just being filled with more and more negativity, you know, hopelessness, fear, doubt. Because for one reason or another, you can't get there anymore, you know? And there's a reason for that, because it's going to go away. But, you know, likewise, you know, positivity can be used in a negative way. And, you know, that's another part of the deception that's out there, is that there's all these people that are posing as light, you know, cloaking themselves. It's the wolf in the sheep's clothing, you know, the new age channelers that are telling you to, you know, tie some crystals around your neck and chant some kind of mumbo jumbo that says we are all one, and that if we just put our minds together, we can change or solve whatever the heck it is that's coming. You know what? That's fool's logic, you know? And that's also, you know, somebody trying to project some kind of positivity thought cycle, but I'm telling you, what it's going to manifest is negativity, because it's a lie. And you know what? A lie will never manifest itself in a positive manner, you know? Whereas if you're using the truth, whether it's negative or positive, it could end up being a positive manifestation, because truth always manifests itself positively. So, what does it all mean, my brothers and sisters out there? And if you're, hey, new to the channel, Operation End Times, excuse me, that's my other channel. But if you're new to Tribulation 5/15/2011, hey, thank God you got here before it's too late. But there's still time, you know. And the good news is, my Lord and Master, Jesus Christ, you know what? He loves everybody. You know, He's chosen everybody, you know. So, if you're a child of light and you have a relationship with God, there's nothing to fear. You know, it's actually the exact opposite of it, is that, you know, something wonderful is going to happen here. You know, a positive manifestation, which is, you know, our Lord and King is going to come back and claim what's His. But, you know, as that happens, there's going to be some speed bumps along the way. We're just going to have to deal with that. But the point being, as part of this paradigm shift, the whole world is facing a decision. Each and every individual on this planet is facing a fork in the road, where they're going to have to make a decision which path they want to get on. Do they want to get on to the path of light with the children of light, those that acknowledge God? Or do you want to get on the other path, which is looking pretty dark? And, you know, there may be some people over there claiming to be God, but you know what? That's a big old lie. And I'm going to just give you some advice, because I love y'all too, is you don't want to be on the dark side. Now, here's how it works. You know, in the old world, the old paradigm, that fork in the road existed, but you could literally stand on both sides of it, you know. You could be a pretty nice person, and yet you could actually be on the negative side, you know, because maybe there's some things in your life, you know, that aren't actually all that positive, you know. Maybe you got some kind of a bad habit, you know, you smoke, you know, whatever, cigarettes, you know, maybe a little pot or whatever. You know, there's many, you know, things that are on the dark side that, you know, sometimes it's watching TV, or, you know, if you do anything too much, that's always negative. But in the old paradigm shift, you could actually kind of straddle both sides of the fork, you know, be on both sides of the road, you know, kind of known as that gray area, you know, where you rationalize everything with your, you know, human logic and say, hey, you know what, this, you know, even though it seems kind of dark, it's okay. And then you get to the point where, because we're creatures of habit, you just keep doing it. Whatever the heck it is, man, it doesn't matter. But you do it so often, you forget that it was even bad. You know, it becomes the new norm, and the moral high bar in life gets lower and lower, and the world continues to spiral down into chaos. The new paradigm shift is you must make a choice, and there's going to be no straddling the middle. So, that's the choice that's before you. And I'm going to tell you, you know, I'm hoping each and every one of you that hear me is going to, you know, that God is going to grant you some wisdom and some knowledge and some insight, and let your eyes open, and you're going to hear what I'm saying, and you're going to say, you know what, I like the sound of being a child of light, and you know what, I do believe in God, and I want a relationship with Him, so I'm gonna take the right path, you know, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to stay on that path, because, you know, here's the other thing, is that path is, it's really skinny and narrow, man, and you know what, it's not a cakewalk. You know what? If you're going to get on that path, you're going to have to work at it. You know, it's like a marriage. You know, when you get married to somebody, you got to work at it. It's not a cakewalk. You know, so having a relationship with God is a process. You know, so when you first get on that side, the good side, you know, because that you've said that's who I am. You know, I'm a good guy. When you get there, there's going to be some bumps. You know, because it's a long road back. But you know what? God is going to embrace you. You know, it's the old prodigal son, you know, that if you make the journey back, you know, you'll be welcomed with open arms. But there'll be no gray area anymore. And I'm telling you, that's an adjustment, because that's part of the deception that has been happening. Is because we were allowed to straddle both sides. There's been this gray area. And the dark side, man, that's their favorite way of pulling the wool over our eyes and ensnaring us to be dragged down into their pit, their quicksand of negativity that's spiraling downwards. So, you know, I'm going to kind of wrap it up there. But, you know, today, my message is one of hope, one of light. That, you know, there's nothing to fear if you've chosen the right path. And you have, you know, started your journey back to meet your God face to face, because you will experience something that you have never felt before. And you know, there are many of my brothers and sisters that are already in the wilderness, you know, where their whole lives have had everything stripped out of it. You know, they've lost their jobs, lost their health care, and maybe they've lost their family, lost all their friends, and they got nothing. And it is a blessing from God. You know, praise His name that He, you know, chose you and is helping you out personally by sending you into the wilderness and taking away all the stuff that was clouding your mind and distracting you from what's really important, you know. Because once you're out there, you're going to find that you're totally dependent on God. And, you know, if you can accept that, you can keep walking forward and get to know Him a little bit. Some of us, you know, unfortunately, they might take a step down that path and get scared, because, see, that's part of the deception too. You know, Babylon, the sinister forces, you know, once again, they'll put icing on the cake, you know, and say, you know what, over here is safety and security. You know, if you believe in us and give us all your money, you know, because we're going to tax you to death, the big machine government, you know, the Illuminati, the principalities in higher places, you know, the ones that have been screwing you for the last 2,000 years and the ones that have turned the whole world into, you know, a shithole. Yeah, they're the ones that if you go back to Babylon, they're going to take care of you and you can put your trust in them. So, you know what? I'm just going to throw out a little friendly advice, is don't be fooled, you know. You know, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. You know, there is no fool you a third time. You know, that's the bad news. But anyway, I'm going to sign on out. It's another glorious day. A bunch of funky, weird-looking clouds in the sky. But I'm enjoying myself. And I'm going to get my tribulation on because, you know, I'm on a mission for God. And I'm working full-time for the man nowadays. And you know what? There's miraculous things happening, you know, on the right side. And, you know, once again, if you want to get a little deeper into that, you can go to Operation End Times, you know, because there amazing things are being revealed. So, you know, I just want to bless each and every one of you, you know, for whatever reasons that you got here. And I do believe that, you know, the Lord is actually sending people to my channel. So, you know, think about it. You know, that's a miracle in and of itself. So, you know, God bless each and every one of you. And, you know, may God bring you some positivity in your life, you know, where you've had nothing but negativity. You know what? If you put your faith in Him, if you put your trust in Him, I promise you, He promises you. You know, Jesus is the faithful one, you know. He will give you what you need. Whether it's a beatdown to kind of help refine your character, or providing you with what you actually need. You know, a drink of water or some food, you know, some comfort, whatever, you know. But it's all part of the positivity, man, of thinking positive. And if you just start thinking positive, you know, even if you don't believe in God, just start thinking positive and doing everything in your life positively, you know. Stop looking at the negative side of life, because it's everywhere, man. You know, if it gets to you, turn off the TV, because like news nowadays, I'm at the point, I'm a news hound, but I barely watch it anymore because it's almost like a retread of the same broken record. Nothing works, nothing's getting fixed, and doom is coming. And you know what? The doom is coming. There's some truth to that. So, everybody needs to wise up a little bit. But, I didn't come here today to scare you. What I came here is to provide a ray of hope in an otherwise dark world. And I'm going to tell you, it's not me. I'm not providing anything. If it was left just up to me, I'd be as lost as the rest of those poor fools out there. Because without my God, I would be blind, I would be dark, and I would be headed towards destruction as well. But, I made my decision. I figured out which side of the fork I wanted to be on. So I'm now walking a brand new path to a brand new future. And I've never been happier and more alive in my life. So you want to feel some of that goodness, some of that positivity? Hey, don't put your trust in, these new age dudes. That's bad news. The ones that are telling you that aliens are coming, or, you can strap some kind of crystal around your neck. Phew, man, stay away from that. All right. Hope you're having a good day as well. I'll catch you later.